everybody. Welcome to episode 55 of the Game Bowl Podcast, the official podcast of thegamebowl.com, which posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. And joining me is none other than my wonderful co-host, Grant. That's how I feel right now. Honestly, like I'm gonna yawn right now. Oh my goodness.
I just thought I would yawn, first day back from spring break, at least for me. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, not at all.
The kids at my work are just going on spring break, officially this Friday. So it'll be really convenient because MLB The Show, MLB 16, the show is out next Tuesday. So like it's perfect timing because I'm reviewing that, so I can get that done relatively quickly. And the fact that I'm gonna have so much free time to play that, like I wouldn't be surprised if I put 100 hours into it after the week.
Wow!
Just because I can't get enough of that series. Anyways, also joining us is none other than a Pokemon master himself, Jason.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Old bad.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tell us your story if you're willing.
Yeah, I won't go into too much, but I was just telling Brett too. I was on the phone all day with the IRS, so
That's good.
Yeah, they thought I was Jason Bourne. Jokes on them, but
Jason
no.
Bourne.
No, actually, the site that my work they post pay stubs to got hacked, and unfortunately, there's like hundreds of other companies that post pay stubs to this site as well, and it sounds like they've gotten a whole bunch of social security numbers, so they are filing tax returns under other people's names, so not good. So I had to make sure someone wasn't doing that to me. So yeah, I was sitting on the phone all day with the IRS. It wasn't fun.
Oh god, that's a mess. Hopefully,
at least there's not a better way to spend your time.
Seriously,
yeah.
What a great start to your week. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully everything gets squared away for you and anybody else affected, because I mean that's definitely some scary stuff and very sensitive material that's being handled and potentially, stolen. So
Brett
hopefully
learned about that when he gave away his credit card number on the show.
That's
no.
Right. That's right. I was like, hey guys, buy free games on me.
60329 something.
Nope, not.
Shh,
nope,
don't
not
tell him
that.
again.
No, not that one. Nope, not quite. Anyway, sorry. Anyways, once again, this is the official podcast of thegamebowl.com, which posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. So, as always, we're going to start with what we're playing. And Jason, you've been playing a couple Nintendo-specific games, so why don't you start off?
For sure, yeah. So I've been playing Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Just finished it last night. Just finished it, so it's still my favorite game. I won't go into it too much again because I talked about it quite a bit last time. But yeah, just man, the dungeons. Every time I play through that game, they're just the best dungeons ever. And I think the last time when I was on the last podcast, I was coming up to the water temple and I was talking about how like, oh man, I'm really not looking forward to this because it's just it's a toughie.
Tough.
It's a toughie, but I really enjoyed it this time. I don't know what it was. I think just it's more enjoyable than the Ocarina of Time one, just because you're not putting your boots on and off. But
it's such a pain. But like, it's tough. But like, it's creative and it's unique. Like you're twisting all the levers and everything. It's like, where the hell do I go? And it's just that why I love Zelda, because I get to explore and to kind of figure things out for myself. Especially with that dungeon, I think it's the last dungeon I got to on the Wii, so I didn't get much further than that. But it's just it's Nintendo being super creative, and I'm definitely gonna try and pick this up in the next few months if I can.
Yeah, you gotta get it. It's so good. Don't listen to Cody.
No. I remember for whatever reason, like I know it's the open world itself, like isn't terribly like dense. Like there really isn't that much. Like like there. I think like Lake Hylia and I forget the name of it's not Kakariko Village, but it's like the main city. Like I remember those two places specifically, and like I always thought the open world was like super daunting, but like I can't imagine it would be at least compared to now where we have like The Witcher and Fallout, like I can't imagine it will be really that dense of an open world.
Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. It's funny because like it kind of reminds me of like Ocarina of Time, because I remember when I was a kid, like that world felt massive. You go back and play it now.
Oh yeah.
Feels so tiny. Same thing with this, it's like you felt so massive when you first played it like 10 years ago, and now you come back to it after playing like GTA or something, you're like, man, it feels so tiny now. But in some ways I kind of like that, because it's like I don't have to spend like an hour trying to cross the map to get to another temple or something.
Yeah, it's like it's not like a Ubisoft game where it's like like there are, even The Witcher, where there's like hundreds of, or tens of landmarks everywhere, and it's like, well, like the completionist in me wants to do the side stuff, but I just want to go from point A to point B without any interruptions.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's nice because you can teleport in this game, of course, too, with Midna.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
So that's another cool feature. But yeah, I won't talk anymore about that, because I talked everyone's ear off about that last time, I think. But yeah, really good game. Still love it. Still my favorite Zelda. But other than that, I've been playing some Pokken Tournament. That is a ton of fun. So going off the name, I was kind of surprised, because when I first started playing this, I thought it would play like Tekken, but it plays more like almost more like Street Fighter, which is interesting. And I'm not really like too big on those kinds of games, but I don't know, like the combat is so much more interesting, because it has these like wave shifts where it starts off on a 3D plane, sort of like the Naruto fighting games. But then whenever you do like a big attack, there's this shift where it goes to a 2D plane, and it feels very much like a Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's super interesting. Like your moves change and everything, and it's way more complicated than I thought it would be. I was playing with Cody at first. Like I hadn't even touched the game yet. I just sort of hopped in, didn't do the tutorial or nothing, and I was getting my butt kicked because I had not played it all yet. And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's these wave shifts and there's all these things, and your moves change." And I was like, "Wow, this game is like crazy complicated," but you do get used to it after a couple hours, and it opens up, and man, it's just so much fun. I don't know, like I don't know if I love it because it's just like Pokemon or what it is, but yeah, it feels really good, and I like that there's like a story mode involved, and there's like the online modes are fun. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have to play Cody again and see if I can kick his butt now, because I've been practicing a bit.
Oh, but nice. How does it play online? Because I know I'm still having, it's not as bad, but I'm still having some issues with Street Fighter, like connecting and everything. But I imagine it's hopefully smooth.
Yeah, surprisingly for like running on the Wii U, it's very smooth. Like compared to Smash, which is surprising because like there's so much more going on, like in the backgrounds and stuff. I don't know how it runs so smooth. It's crazy.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't a leggy match at all in the 20 or 30 matches me and Cody played. And then I played maybe like 10 or 15 more online matches without Cody, and there was like one match where someone must have had like a really bad connection, and it like disconnected towards the end, but otherwise that was it. So.
Okay. Now, have you had a chance to play with Toby yet?
No, we're gonna try to play on Wednesday, because he's reviewing the game right now, so he's gonna try to test out the online features. But yeah, that'll be exciting too. I know he's really liking the game as well right now. We've been talking about it.
Yeah, from what I've seen from the chat, he definitely seems to be into this game, which is definitely awesome. I know I'm not particularly interested in it just because I have Street Fighter as my fighting game of choice, but it just seems to be like, if you're a Pokemon fan and you're not really into fighting games, maybe you should give this a shot, because it's like it's Machamp versus Mewtwo, and it's like it's more than just like psychic Machamp's dead. It's like there's stuff to actually do, and like Machamp could feasibly win in this game as opposed to like a regular Pokemon game.
Yeah, that's what was really funny that me and Cody were laughing about when we were playing, is like, so they have like fire types and water types, and but there's like no stab advantage like in the regular games. Like obviously, like like Suicune doesn't do any extra damage to Charizard, but it would be, like obviously he'd be like dead.
Yeah, right.
If we were playing like a mainline Pokemon game, but so it's kind of silly in a way, but it's really fun. Like I love their movesets. Yeah, it's just so much fun. I've been playing as Garchomp, which I thought would be like my least favorite character, because I usually go for like the fast characters. I hate playing as like the slow, beastly characters, but man,
Right.
he's just like he's a beast. He's
awesome.
he's fun. Like you can turn into like you can like go underground and then like turn into like a sand shark and then just like pop up at people.
Oh
and
wow.
chomp onto them. It's just
Holy cow.
so much fun. But,
Now, how many fighters are there to start? And, like, are they? Do you know like they're gonna add any of the DLC or anything?
I kind of I feel like they are because when you look at the character select screen after you unlock the 2 unlockable characters in the game, there's like 4 slots, and it's almost prominent like that. There's these 4 slots, like they're going to add 4 more characters, and it just could be, maybe that's just the background. I don't know, but it seems like it reminds me of what was it that came out earlier last year, the fighter game, Mortal Kombat. How there were like those 4 slots on the end of the screen, and then they added like those DLC characters soon after. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Like, yeah, so definitely, I definitely think they're gonna add DLC characters. So. Oh yeah. It's really tough, like when I first started playing it, it's very daunting, and I'm not really into fighters at all besides Smash. So I'd say even if you're a big Pokemon fan, it's probably not for you unless you're like really into fighters. But then I don't know, like it grew on me too. Like after I went through the training and played through the story mode, which was really short, I really liked it, and so I don't know, maybe it will grow on you, but I definitely think if you're not into fighters at all, it's probably something that even if you just love Pokemon, it might not interest you at all. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I've been playing, of course, the Rocket League. Minecraft, I'm surprised I haven't gotten bored of it yet. I'm pretty much done with everything. So, like I said last week, I'll probably stop playing soon. But then, Infamous Second Son, so I was playing all the same stuff as last week. I just beat that right before we started recording. Yeah, I forgot how much I really liked that game. Like I remember the gameplay was fun, but actually playing it just reminds me how good it is. Just like the power variety, like I think I didn't initially in the game I didn't like the video power as much as the other ones, but now I really like it. So yeah, I think replaying it again, like a couple months after, or not months, I guess I hadn't played it in a year or two. But yeah, it's a super fun game. I like the humor in it. It's the story is not overly deep, but I mean it's enough to get you through. So yeah, it's just yeah. Yeah, Seattle. The side missions, yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't have a time for it right now, but I've heard good things about it. Of course, I like the first 2 games. I'd like to try and get into it again. And if I like it, great, but at least give it a second shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice
I'd
pun.
recommend you do that.
Yeah. No, I loved Infamous Second Son. It starts off really slow, but then like yeah, once you get like
Once you get
what is
into
it
the
that
city, it really picks up.
yeah, like the neon powers, and it really
Yeah,
picks up
Neon.
because you can
Neon
start
is the
blasting through it.
best.
Yeah, oh, so good.
Especially once you
Um,
get that endless speed upgrade. Because then you
oh,
can just sprint forever.
so good. Yeah, I platinum that game. That was
I
fun.
platinumed it. It's an easy
Yeah,
platinum too. If you get into
yeah.
it, it's you
I
like
think
you
it's
just
got
you
like
basically just have to beat it twice and you'll get the platinum.
doesn't it have like a 57% like platinum rate or something? Like it's like one of the
It's something
highest.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, something I didn't mention. Even the like you mentioned the side stuff you didn't really like that. You said it was fun, but it just wasn't for you. I like the side stuff. It's pretty simple. Like it's like one of them is a secret agent. Like you have to find this dude who's blending in and then attack him once you find him. And then even I really like the graffiti stuff just because I know it's really gimmicky. Just you get to turn the controller sideways and use it like a spray can. Yeah. Again, that's like I feel like you either really liked Elson or you don't like him at all. I really liked him. Yeah. So I guess yeah, it's Troy Baker. But who isn't Troy Baker nowadays? Yeah. Brett, is that you? Yeah. Uh, but if there's ever like a dry spell and you don't have anything to play, I recommend you go back to that. Maybe give it another shot. Second shot.
uh,
I've been playing. I finished up the division. For the most part, I kind of said everything I need to say about it. If you want to get my full thoughts, my review is now on the site as of the recording. Essentially, this instructor is very repetitive. It's just pretty much every time. The story is not good. Definitely boring. And just the characters decided to do a thing. They're not really giving context as well. This guy was like kill a few people and I don't really have a. It's not really enough motivation to push out. They really lack the context. It's not as bad as Assassin's Creed does, but it was still a little bit tough sometimes, and it was large, in my opinion, there's a little more depth to it in terms of like differentiating yourself. Like I feel like I was using everything given just it's like a benefit to the entire team. I can use a turret, but it didn't use damage towards the higher level. It's kind of a way to slot. But of course, the positive things, gameplay, you go to the top anytime you bring this go 3-time, whatever it may be, the gun feel more realistic, gun that quick action, there's that wide spread, and just there's that realistic feel that Tom Hanks activity well. The dog gun is the attack is super flexible. Never really struck to the weird. Just 3-time friends and but that's it. You'll keep the guy at the same exact point. Like you'll have your gun ready when you have to like don't even think about trying to take it down. You have to take it down with me. It's just really intense. It works really. So yeah, it's probably the lengthiest video I've ever written. Probably one of the more successful I've written. But one of the awesome check that out. And I just all in all, I was not really I had the idea that it's something that's super well in my opinion. And to finish up what I've been playing, I beat this today actually, and I really want to do this week. Fire Emblem takes Revelation, which is the third chapter that the core and takes the initial path and does decide either the Moyans or the Machines. And this case, this is actually, I haven't really read that yet, but Revelation and Conquest. This is my story and stuff that needs to be on, because, with Birthright, but if I didn't have credit, I see that, with your hosting of things, and you get this picture that the noise of bad people, and they're not really that great, and then on the other side of things, you start the noise and conquest, you serve a purpose, and the students, your birth family, are made up for your enemies. So it's kind of like, you're kind of getting falsified information, whereas with Revelation, you get to really see some of these characters fleshed out more, and you get to see kind of an unbiased view, so to speak. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but you get to see some surprising characters coming together, and you would think, based on what you played on the Birthright, that there's no way these characters could come together and fight evil as a team, but they do, and they make it work because they support Korn, and they believe they want to take down this third evil that I didn't say who it was, but I really the Devil's Blood. I've been through it again, but right now I'm broke down. I'm fire. I'll play a mission for 25 minutes, and then I'll make one mistake, and it's like, son of a gun. That, truthfully, I kind of did rust through the last 2 chapters. I'm starting to fire at me. Have my strongest characters straight to the ball. Just kind of made and with my lower level characters. Have them research I characters that really aren't doing too much. And it works well because I was able to complete the mission with local views, so long as like 4, 5, sometimes 6 episodes from live. And it works well. So yeah, I'm going to be writing my review for tomorrow or Wednesday, so expect that. I'm excited for the time.
Awesome. Did you enjoy that one more than Conquest then?
Yeah, definitely. Conquest is good.
Mm-hmm.
I played a vision, wasn't the best at it, and Conquest with the limited resources, I was like, there's no way in hell they're just I ended up going from hard, normal, hard to easy mode, casual. It's still demoralizing, but no chances of run,
Right.
very few characters were given time to do it. I was more into it for the story, and I'm not going to be reading for it because it's not even used to run. So I figured, why not? I'm not enjoying as much about and I'm enjoying how I was all these Revelation, and where I was kind of hang back and let the enemy come to me, and then kind of swarm and flank them different sides. So yeah, I enjoyed Revelation 4, and I thought it was really good.
Nice. Yeah.
I definitely play one of the series, I guess three-part series.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend Conquest either. I thought that would be for me because I was so into the GBA games that I was like, oh, I kind of missed that challenge because Awakening was a little bit easier, and I just thought, all right, I'm going to go straight for the challenge, and then I did the same thing. I dropped the difficulty pretty quickly. I was like, this game is ridiculous, and I was getting too stressed out towards the end, but no, I still liked it. It was just, it was not for me, but it was still fun.
Yeah, it's definitely more to play, it is very satisfying. 12, 25, 35, and you add the most you can want to it. I kind of do feel
Yeah,
a lot for my birthday, but I'm excited to play it.
for sure.
Anyways, what's the news story?
Boom.
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 A pretty big
A very big one.
so, first story, the PlayStation VR. So, long time speculating what would the price be, what will the release date be for PlayStation's VR machine. And during their presentation at GDC, Sony has cleared up that PlayStation VR is going to cost $400 and is going to release this October. We originally thought that it would be from earlier in the year, but it's coming in October, and we have a release window nonetheless, so I'm glad to check that. And it was speculated, at the lowest it would be $300, and at the most it would be maybe $500. I don't think we thought it would push, Oculus price is $600, and in the, of course, in the box comes with the machine and the components, cables necessary, and I guess the power kit, what I'm not exactly sure what it is, but all the tools necessary for VR. But there is a catch, which is less than $200, which is the reality machine. Not only are you going to need the headset and everything that comes with that, you're going to also need the PlayStation camera, which retails for $60. But I usually
Find it cheaper, maybe on Amazon or GameStop. I think it was $40 when I bought it at GameStop. So you're going to be putting up a little bit more money to really get the full experience. And though you don't have to use these, you can of course use the PlayStation 4 controller. They do suggest buying PlayStation Move controllers. So those controllers, if you still have them, dust them off, because they're getting they're turning a new leaf, if you will. They're going to be compatible with PSVR, and hopefully it's going to enhance the experience. So essentially, kind of what we're getting to here is, what are your guys' thoughts on the pricing and the release window, and just what are your thoughts on PlayStation VR as a whole, maybe VR as a whole? And to real quickly state, it is worth noting that PlayStation VR is the cheapest among the three, among PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, and HTC Vive, where PlayStation VR is $400, Oculus is $600, and HTC Vive is $800, respectively. And with Oculus and HTC Vive, you're going to need a good rig to use those, whereas with PlayStation VR, you only need a PS4. So it's, if you already have that system, great, you're set. Now you just have to buy the machine itself, and yeah, you don't have to worry about having a $1,000+ rig.
Yeah, I think they nailed the price. I think that's a perfect price, really. I think any higher would have been too much, and any lower would have been like crazy. Like I wouldn't have expected it.
Like if it was any lower, they couldn't have made that much money off of it.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's a lot of people out there in the comment sections right away on sites, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna crush the Vive and stuff," but I don't know if people realize, like, totally different markets. Like people that are picking up the Vive, like, those are like core PC gamers, like the ones that are like, "Hey, PC Master Race," those are the people that are gonna probably pick up a PS4 and a PSVR anyway. You know what I mean? So even if it does turn out to sell really well, I don't think it's gonna kill the Vive or the.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because in my opinion, of course, it's different audiences, the PC and consoles. I think PlayStation VR is most accessible, because of that price point and the fact that you only need a PS4 console.
Yeah,
that's you don't need that.
You don't have to invest into a PC.
Yeah, you don't need that super powerful rig, and it seems to be more I don't want to say casual, but like it is more game centric. You know, at least with the PS4, like you have that
Mainstream.
connection already. Whereas I feel like people with you know, who are buying Oculus or the HTC Vive, they know what they're getting into. They have those, you know, very powerful rigs, and they're going to put those to good use. But you know, the average person who owns a PS4 is going to be much more inclined to buy the cheaper and the more accessible machine.
Right.
Now, are you guys going to be buying PlayStation VR when it not maybe when it launches right away, but you know, sometime down the road? Do you guys see yourselves buying this?
I think it really depends for me, like on the, like kind of on the, like I know we'll get to this in a second, but there was an article that says all existing PS4 games can be played in VR, even though like they won't necessarily be like completely compatible with it.
Yeah, it seems to be like a cinematic mode, which you know, it sounds
just, like,
interesting,
instead of,
but I don't know exactly how it's gonna work. I can't really fathom, you know, how different it would be versus just playing the game.
like I would imagine that like instead of just like moving your stick, that you're just like looking around.
Well, supposedly, from what I've read, it sounds like you're put in almost like a virtual theater, and it's like looking at a big screen, and you can look left and right, but it'd be like looking left and right in a theater where, you know, you're turning away kind of like from this big screen that's in front of you.
Oh, okay.
So interesting. I don't know. It sounds kind of neat.
Yeah, it's something you're gonna have to try it for sure to get a good feel for, and you know, we'll see when that comes. But to just, you know, quickly wrap up this story and kind of get a little bit more discussion out of it. PlayStation President Andrew House confirmed that there are more than 230 developers building content for PlayStation VR, and it includes, you know, small teams, big teams, just a lot of teams together, and there are going to be over, I believe, 50 games at launch, or I'm sorry, not at launch, will launch before the end of the year, which includes Ubisoft's Eagle Flight, Valkyrie, Res Infinite, Riggs, which seems to be, you know, the mech combat game, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and among others. And there's going to be a free app called the Playroom.
Don't forget Eagle Flight.
No, no.
Yeah,
A
Eagle
Crazy
Flight.
Ball.
That looks really cool. And what we were saying before the cinematic, according to Sony, it, quote, lets users enjoy a variety of content on a large virtual screen while wearing a headset, which is, you know, what we described before. Regular non-VR PS4 games will support cinematic mode as well as videos and PlayStation features and apps such as SharePlay and Live from PlayStation will also use the cinematic mode, and PSVR allows you to look at 360-degree allows you to look at 360-degree photos and videos. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this because of the price point. You know, it's, you know, $400 of course isn't, you know, is a lot of money, but I can safely, you know, put money aside, you know, monthly or, you know, piecemeal some funds off to the side at a time from each paycheck or something, and, you know, be ready for October, and I'll have the money to buy this machine. I don't anticipate I'm buying it right at launch. You know, I'm gonna see. You know, I think for me, it's just, you know, the games like it could just be something I'll buy, and then like 2 days later I'm like, oh, I haven't, you know, I just stop using it, and then weeks go by and I don't touch it. Like I just, you know, I want
like
something to go. You know, stop.
Whoa.
Please, Grant.
Just the Wii for a long time.
Just like Rocket League. Shots fired.
You want to go here, Brett?
I do. Anyways, like I want there to be something worth playing when it launches. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe, you know, I'll buy it around the holiday season. Now, of course, we'll see when the time comes. I want to see what software there is to entice me to buy this. But I do anticipate myself buying this for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I played this at PSX for like 20 minutes, and I had a blast. And it's sort of like what they say on KFG, like it's like that religious experience where like you don't understand it until you put it on, and then it's like, whoa, I want one of these. But all the games out there right now are just experiments, and you're looking at like they just put out a video the other day of like their top like 8 of the 50 that are coming out this year, and one of the games they showcased is like Crazy Ball. And it's just kind of like, I think it was called Crazy Ball, whatever it is. It's that game where you slam your face into the ball against the wall, and it's just like, that's not like one of the games that I want to play. I'm waiting for like those big like AAA games to come out rather than like just these experiences. But once they'll start dropping and like maybe the price drops on this like $50 or so, then I'll probably pick one up right away.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Just like, because I know it said that every game can be played on PSVR, but I kind of want to wait, like Jason said, for like the big thing that's like completely designed around VR to make it a super immersive experience, and then price drop, because I probably won't drop $400 on this.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're a high school student, so it's $400 is not an easy thing to just be like, all right, here you go. Like it's you gotta be at the right the price point, and you kind of have to get the feel for it first.
Right.
Anyways, 1 second. Anyways, up next we have potentially the console wars coming to an end in the form of connected Xbox Live and PSN, having their games being able to be played with each other, or at least, on the servers you can play against Xbox players in Rocket League, or on Xbox you can play against the PS4 players. So, this is from GameSpot. Sony has issued an encouraging but indecisive response to Microsoft's invitation to unite the online networks of PlayStation Network and the Xbox and Xbox One for certain games. On Monday, Microsoft publicly invited other platform holders to allow the same games to be played online across different console networks. Such an unprecedented move enacted could bring an end to more than a decade of segregation between PSN and Xbox Live.
I have a dream.
Yeah, this could be interesting. So Sony is remaining open-minded about this this whole thing, and I believe Sony did issue out a statement, and it says, quote, PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between PC and several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on PS2 and PC back in 2002, and we would be happy to have a conversation with any publishers or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. So yeah, essentially, this was a week ago or 2 weeks ago this announcement was made?
A week ago.
Excuse me. Okay, about a week ago that Microsoft will be supporting cross-platform play between Xbox One and other multiplayer networks, and it seems that Rocket League will be the first game that's going to be taking advantage of this. So, finally you can play with your friends on Xbox or on PS4. This is, of course, big-time news, and I love the idea of it that, if I want to play, Rocket League against or with my friends, I don't have to, buy that console they're playing on. I can have one console and just get that same, connectivity. And it's definitely a great idea on Microsoft's part. And I hope that Sony definitely considers it. And they said they're open-minded about it. Rocket League is massive, and it's recently come to the Xbox One. It seems to be blowing up there too. So just imagine the millions of Rocket League players all in one giant community playing this awesome game. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I think Rocket League would be like the perfect example of a game to be cross-platform, but I can't feasibly see this happening with most third-party games though, because we're at an era where consoles are still like in they're still in like a third-party exclusive war with each other. Where like let's say like Call of Duty comes out, PS4 will snag like exclusive rights to that for maps or whatever first. So you're not going to be able to really play like those maps or whatever with your friends or whatever exclusive content's there. And then like Microsoft will release exclusive content for Battlefield, and then same thing. So I kind of wonder like how many games will they actually be able to like get something like this to work on? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like that doesn't really, like, I feel like that's not as big of a deal because some people will have it, some people won't. It's the same as it being on one platform because not everyone's going to buy it. So the player base is still going to be separated. I feel like this would just, like, make bigger player base in general for, like, matchmaking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Keep communities more alive.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Let's move on to our next story, which is also pretty interesting. So this is from Kotaku, and according to their sources, Sony might be working on a PS4.5. This is written by Patrick Klepek, and it reads, Sony is currently planning on a new version of the PS4 with increased graphical power and games running at 4K resolution, a developer sources told Kotaku. They don't know whether current PS4 owners will be able to upgrade or allowed to buy it entirely. Maybe you trade in your old PS4 and get credit towards, this new PS4.5, this upgraded version. But it seems to be, a new system that's getting a power boost, and it'll allow games to have, run with better visuals and everything. And developers can take advantage of that. Essentially, this PS4.5 would include an upgraded GPU to both to support high-end 4K resolution for games, and it would add more processing power that can enhance the games supported by PlayStation VR. And we don't know yet if the PS4.5 would be the official name or just kind of a nickname, which is common among new consoles and prototypes. For those who don't know, 4K is 4 times the pixel size of 1080p, which is the current platform and the standard or quality that games on PS4 and other consoles strive to run for. So yeah, this could be huge, mainly because it's a more powerful system. It makes it potentially maybe easier to develop for. At least, we would get more out of the system in terms of its visuals and, these more pleasing to the eye, worlds and everything. It's just, I like the idea of this. This is, technology is moving rapidly, and it seems like every few years there's that new, PC graphics card or something that is way better than the last model. And with consoles, you buy it and you're kind of stuck with that hardware for 6-7 years. You can't really upgrade it, and it's kind of behind in terms of the technological advances. So an upgradable console, and I believe it's potentially maybe with the Xbox One too. We don't know yet. This is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, when you were bringing up Microsoft, I know recently, I think it was Phil Spencer, he was talking about how he wanted the next system to have upgradable parts where you just, it's like a PC basically, where you put new parts in. And I think that's the way these consoles need to go, because that's just the way the future is going. Like, we're just upgrading rapidly to new things at a new pace, and I mean, if these consoles are around for like 6 or 8 years, and we gotta have a way to upgrade them, otherwise, man, they're gonna feel ancient by the end of the console generation with each generation going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, if you can make it so where everyone can upgrade it, but I don't think that if you release a PS4.5 and then not allow old PS4 users to upgrade it, then I feel like that could kind of be unfair because it would make some games like with this big world be able to work on the newer version but not on the older version. So if they did it in this generation,
like a new 3DS type thing.
Yeah. So I feel like in this generation, I kind of would only want it to be like upgrading visuals and not affect the actual game
Yeah, like like it runs at 30 frames on the older model, and that
Yeah, it runs at
60.
60. Like
on
if you
the
want to make a 4K console, like okay, I just don't want it to have it affect the game and put people on the older console at a disadvantage.
yeah, definitely.
I hope they call this the PS4K. I think they
Yeah, I think one,
That would
in the
be
story,
genius.
one of the developers was joking to Kotaku about that, saying that'll be the new names. That'll be pretty funny. Yeah, I'd be
Almost as good as it
that's
used to.
that's definitely a good point you guys made. It's you don't want to not punish, but you don't want to kind of shy away the early adopters and people who have had this system since its launch year and saying, hey, we know you have those older consoles and you're a long time owner. Well, stinks for you because you can't play this game because it's too it's not compatible with the older model. But hopefully that's not the case, like you said, Grant. Hopefully it's just for visual stuff and
Right.
running at 4K and everything. Anyways, we have some smaller stuff stories we're not really going to cover.
These
Excuse me.
controllers look really cool.
Yeah, just to quickly go into the Microsoft announced some new controllers. Dusk Shadow, which is
The blue one.
exclusive to Best Buy. That is, oh my god, that's gorgeous. I have 3 controllers, so I don't need it, but my
I've got
goodness,
one.
that is gorgeous.
I've got one and I knocked it out of the park. I got the white like lunar thing. With
Oh
the
my,
triggers
I want the.
and, like
It looks so good.
colored dots in between the buttons.
And then there's the Copper Shadow, which is going to be sold at GameStop and Microsoft stores. They both will go for $70 and will sell later this year. I just love some of the Xbox One controllers.
Yeah. They
Particularly,
really do a good job
like the
with that
white
stuff.
controller, I just think is so good looking. Like I had the standard black, and it's sleek, and I love the way it looks. But like some of the Halo controllers or Call of Duty controllers, Titanfall, they all look so cool. I'm like, I wish I had like
Titanfall
20.
one does look really
Yeah,
cool.
like I wish I had like 20 controllers, and I wouldn't use them. But oh my god,
I'd like to look at them.
they look. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
have the
Rotate
Fallout.
the control.
Yeah, I have the Fallout 4 controller in it. It's it's a shame it's wired. Like it has like the Vault Boy giving a thumbs up on it, and it's such a cool design.
What is the one that I have called? Let me look this up real quick.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And some more Xbox news here. So Microsoft is temporarily cutting the price of the Xbox One as part of the new spring sale the company announced beginning March 20th, which was, I believe, yesterday.
Yes.
All Xbox One consoles in the United States will be offered for $50 off, which now will retail for $300, and this is the lowest price that Microsoft's ever sold these systems. And the spring sale itself will start, I believe, it started today, or I'm sorry, it starts tomorrow. And it's a 1-week promotion, and there'll be deals on big games like Fallout 4, Halo 5, Call of Duty, Far Cry Primal, Rainbow Six. I believe there's one. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is discounted. Just some of the deals, I can't anticipate this to be a permanent price cut. Maybe
Yeah.
down the road, depending on how it does. I mean, that's how it was last time. It did really well at $350, and they said, all right, that's our permanent price. I've seen some ridiculous deals where it's, $300 gets you the console alone, and then you get, say, Gears of War Ultimate Edition or The Division, just some of the new released games, and it's like, well, for $300, that is a fantastic deal. I mean,
Very good.
like you don't see many of these on deals for PlayStation, but if you're looking to get an Xbox One, like now is the perfect time because one, the console has never been cheaper. It's $300. That's the price of a Wii U, right? Or it might be lower.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Wii U is $300 too. But it's the price of a Wii U, and then you're most likely getting a game with it regardless. And then there's this deal going on where some games are 25% off, so they're going to be $45, and you're going to save yourself $10 to $15, sometimes more depending on the game. And it's like, well, if you're looking to get an Xbox One, and some good games to get, it couldn't be a more perfect time.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I don't know if this deal's still going on, but yesterday Newegg was selling Xbox Ones with Gears Remastered for $260. That's
insane. Oh my goodness! Like Newegg has some really good deals.
Yeah.
And
Newegg is really good.
Yeah. I'm always on Twitter just checking out Cheap Ass Gamer or I think Wario64 on Twitter will often tweet out some kind of deal, and it's maybe it's eBay or Newegg or any kind of site, and it's just the deals are ridiculous. Like it's like they're like, hey, just take the Xbox One off our hands, and it's like for $300 plus a game or two, gladly. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Next, they're gonna pay you to take an Xbox One.
Just like other Scrolls Online.
Phil Spencer will personally deliver it to your house.
I would love that. He's probably such a nice guy.
They will deliver it by pigeon.
I don't know. It would require like 6 pigeons because I don't think one pigeon could hold an Xbox One while flying.
I mean,
fly over on a drone, like holding a drone with one hand and an Xbox One in the other hand.
Is it a European pigeon or an African pigeon?
I don't get into this Monty Python, please.
I watched Monty Python not too long ago.
I haven't seen it in so long, so
it's so good.
I understood the reference.
I mean, it's so bad, which makes it so good.
Is it a swallow instead of a pigeon?
It's a swallow.
Okay. Anyways,
okay, real quick. That one controller that I have is the Lunar White controller.
Okay, I'll have to look it up afterwards. There are so many controllers I want.
Yeah, and I got it for I think I got it for like $20 because there was a thing like if you trade in your standard black controller, then you get that one
that's
for like
right.
$20.
I've seen those deals before, and the next time there's one, I'm gonna take advantage because I have 3 controllers and I only use 1, maybe 2, depending on what I'm playing. And I wouldn't mind trading in one of my black Xbox controllers for that copper shadow or that dusk shadow.
And the new ones have a headphone jack.
Oh, that's right. The updated controllers and everything. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
What do you? I'm just looking at the script real quickly.
The script.
The band.
And we'll do. You guys want to do like 2 more? Sorry, you want to do 2 more news stories here and then wrap it up?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go to the biggest ones, I guess.
Okay, we'll go to the Bioshock one, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm so excited for this. So the Bioshock, the collection box art has been leaked online, and this collection that I would assume would consist of Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite has been rated for Xbox One by a Taiwanese regulation board. The game has not been announced by 2K Games. This is the 3rd indication of this potentially being a thing.
That box art is super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It has the lighthouse in the distance, and
there's always a lighthouse.
Yeah, there's always a lighthouse, and
Rapture.
Yeah, it's I would love to play Bioshock 1 again. Excuse me. It was discovered on Twitter by Lifelower, who posted a link to the listing. There is no release date mentioned, but the rating does feature the potential box art, which I'm sure if you look up, the Bioshock collection, it might be one of the first images that shows up, and it's quite pretty. Last year, a South African retailer Baru listed the Bioshock collection for Xbox One and PS4, and then a Brazilian advisory rating board also published a listing for this Bioshock collection. So it seems that this collection is more likely than not existing.
Yeah, because more and more news keeps getting leaked about it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when 2K Games is ready to officially announce it, because maybe they feel confident that it would be enough. It could be justified to be announced at E3 or something, or just a Monday morning. It's like, all right, here's the Bioshock collection.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes, I would. Oh my!
I'd imagine it'd be announced at E3.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see when it comes. But there have been 3 different sightings of this.
For once, it wasn't Amazon Italy.
Oh, that's right. Oh
they leak everything.
Yeah,
Amazon Italy did it for once.
Yeah, and it's 3 different listings, so it's most likely real. Now it's just like, all right, when are you guys gonna announce that? And I will buy it the second it's released, because I could play Bioshock is, for me, the first game is one of the games I play once a year, and I'm like, oh, this is magical.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Jason. And lastly,
Infinite's better.
no,
What? Who said that?
Kevin, please. Kevin's not here, by the way.
Kevin.
Kevin, go to bed.
Go to bed, Kevin.
I'll freaking go to bed when I freaking want to.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like it when we tell him that. We have to tell him to go to sleep.
Okay.
Oh.
Because a lot of times he's in bed. He's just not.
I'm gonna tell him to hit the hay next time.
Sleep is it's a more gentle way of saying it. It's more peaceful. Yes. Anyways, our last story of the night is Quantum Break. It runs at 720p, but it is still stunning according to report. Quantum Break is out in a few weeks now. Digital Foundry, they've analyzed a pre-released version of the game from Remedy, and they've discovered that it may run at 720p. A white paper from Remedy, published in 2015, suggested that the game, or at least some elements of it, excuse me, would run at 1920 by 1080, 1080p, but Digital Foundry said it has yet to see any evidence of full 1080p gameplay. Quote, in every scene tested so far, a native resolution of 720p is the consistent result found in each pixel count test, it reported. So while there's every possibility of individual render targets operating at high resolutions, basic geometry that we're able to measure hands in a 720p result as things stands. And the article goes on. Digital Foundry goes on to say that Quantum Break, even at the inferior, if you will, 720p resolution, it still remains visually impressive and stunning in many areas. And this is made possible because of Remedy's use of post effects such as film grain, motion blur, and anti-aliasing. So yeah, I know I'm not one who really cares for resolution in games, and from the trailers we've seen and the gameplay, I mean, the game Quantum Break looks quite pretty.
It does.
And then the facial features and everything, like,
for some reason I thought that was released at the end of March, but it's in April.
Yeah, it's April 5th, I believe. So that's about
it's the 5th. I checked it.
Two weeks away. It's 2 weeks away. Holy cow! I'm excited for that game. Anyways, the game looks quite pretty nonetheless, even if it's in 720p. I'm not one to be like, oh my gosh, it's 720p. I'm not buying it. Quantum Break looks awesome. Visually, it looks like a beautiful game. Absolutely, I'm buying this.
Yeah, honestly, I could care less too. I'm excited about the gameplay.
I'm excited about a linear game for once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm burnt out on RPGs at the moment, so I'm going to be playing MLB The Show for a while, and then I think Quantum Break is probably the next thing I'm going to buy, and that's probably all I'm going to buy for quite a while. I know I can't imagine it would take me more than a few weeks to complete, but I'm gonna take my time with that game, and I'm gonna appreciate it, and then I'll go right back into that MLB The Show. So I've got my game plan, all set up. So I'm excited for this game. I can't believe it's in 2 weeks. Anyways,
can't wait.
Yeah, seriously. That is going to wrap up episode 55 of the Gamebowl Podcast. And, of course, be sure to check out our website, thegamebowl.com. And if you have any topics that we should discuss, questions, anything that's going on in the industry lately, feel free to tweet us at _Gamebolt with your topics. And remember, this posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. And some of the recent stuff on the site includes my Division review. I believe John wrote his impressions on Paragon, the new MOBA on PS4. Liam wrote his preparing for Persona 5 piece, and then Charlie wrote a very deep thorough piece on the Microsoft purchasing Rare, and just how that affected Rare itself, and what that meant to kind of the idea of Microsoft. Like, they didn't really get what they were paying for. They they weren't, satisfied with what they got. So it's a very thorough piece to check out, and of course, we've got features going up every day. We've got, April's going to be jam-packed, so the next few weeks we're going to be preparing for, some of these huge games, Dark Souls 3. Yeah. Preparing and paying for Dark Souls 3, Quantum Break, the Ratchet and Clank reboots, all those great games. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a chance to play some of those. And if you wanted to find us on Twitter, you can follow Grant at
GrantRam3.
And you can follow Jason at
J_Smash1.
And you can find me at Brett Woodmansee, WOODMANSEE. And again, you can follow our Twitter at _GameBolt. Thank you so much, guys. Take it easy.
See you.